What is this and why do you care? Stick around to find out. So it's been a while since I did my last update on this. I've been working on this 3D printed wheel for quite some time. As you can see, I've got my final version made, and this is the best you're gonna see because I'm moving on to my next projects here soon. It's a pretty painful process. Honestly, I'm pretty new to this. So I just designed each piece one by one and just kind of saw what worked and what didn't work. You can see here, this is one of my very first designs. Obviously some pretty big flaws here. The entire thing was 3D printed in this design, all the way through the shaft, and then I made a little bearing inside of the wheel here that you can kind of see is still there. Super weak, snapped. I'm sure a lot of you are like, oh, just print it with 100% infill, right? So I printed it with 100% infill, so that way you guys could stop saying that. And at the same time, I made a little slot here, which obviously printed terribly, so that you could stick a screwdriver in there and you could twist this little cap on a little bit better. This design was okay. I thought that I could do better. So after this design, I thought, I love 3D printing. I love making as much as possible out of 3D printed parts, but let's be real for a moment. A 3D printed part is never going to be as good as a steel or metal part. So I went and ordered these steel ball bearings off of online, and then I just put a little insert hole for the slot. It's press fit, it is not glued. And then I made this shaft that presses right into it. Just like that. And man, does it work beautifully. It is so smooth. Let's compare that to the other one. Compared to this one here. Okay, well, my demo's not going great because I thought that wouldn't spin so well, but it's actually spinning kind of okay. As you can see though, on this one here, I mean, it's just so quiet, smooth, and it just is a nice, look at that. After this design, I was making a box out of it, and as I was going around the house with it, I realized that the box actually kind of tends to sag just a little bit down here in the middle. So these tiny, tiny wheels were too small for me to actually use. So I went up another size, about 200%, and ended up with my final design. The press fit, the press fit on the bearings on this are so tight, I can't get it out at all. So just trust me that there's a metal bearing in there. And then what you do is you just cut a hole out here. You stick the threads through and bam, screw it in on the other side. And it spins nice and smooth. And with this extra tape I added on the bottom, it's got pretty good support. You can put a decent amount of weight inside of it, but it's mostly just a fun toy. And I think it turned out pretty well for one of my very first, articulated 3D printing projects. I think articulate is the wrong word. So why don't you guys correct me in the comments on what that is? If you like this project, subscribe for more. As you can see in the background, I am working on some other upcoming 3D printed projects. And so if you are interested in checking out any of these projects that I've got going on in the future, go ahead and give me a follow and a like. You are all amazing. I love you all, and I hope your day is wonderful.